intimidation. I mean, again, to me, Jen is, this isn't a woman who robbed a store because her children couldn't eat and she never had a criminal history. This isn't a woman who is going through a depressive time and is pulled over for DUI. And yes, could have really killed herself or somebody else, but had never had a criminal. This person knowingly preyed on victims, making them suicidal, making them lose everything. And then again, everybody is like, oh my God, Jen and Coach, like they're so great. And, you know, all the Heather and Lisa and everybody said, this person's a devious person, like a criminal for a long, and again, this wasn't a year-long, hey, if I can just get $150,000 for the year, I can pay off the bills that Coach and I have, and then I'll stop. This person literally started this scheme in like 2013, 2014 for 7 years.
Yeah. Well, like,
we're still like,
no, I mean,
like, don't,
yeah. I mean, look, when you are like going after the person that's, look, I mean, it's just like a cult or organized religion, which I said, in my opinion, you're going after people that don't have anywhere else to turn. You're handing over $12,000 because you are a broken person. It's like the MLMs, like the pyramid schemes in Utah, which I was a part of one in the past. Let's not even get into that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that another time.
Oh my God. Yes, I want to know which one.
Oh yeah. Yes. No, and like I went, I mean, listen, I never really bought in, but when I was there, I'll tell you about it. When I was, I mean, we'll talk about it on air, guys. That's fine. When I was there, I mean, that's what they accused Whitney's husband of being a part of. And these people were up on that stage and they were just like crying and telling their aim like, this is a does anyone else see that this is a fucking, am I the only sane person sitting here in Salt Lake, Utah at this MLM master meeting, realizing that this, and I wasn't like in like years, I was like, okay, I'll sell your shit, sure. I'm like, and you know, I have an audience here and like I'll make an extra few dollars. Let's put that aside because it never really happened. I sold like 2 things, but like when I was sitting there, I was like, I mean, what? Like, oh my God, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, do people like what? Because people will be like, and then I did this and I lost this and I lost my husband and this and that. And this is my savior. I'm like, oh my God. So to me, it's like you're preying on people at their lowest. Like they need somewhere to turn. So right, for Jen to go to someone and then she hands over $12,000 because like she needed to like, she figured she would get rich or get out of the hole she was in. Yeah, it is. It's preying on the weak and laughing about it. Yeah.
I mean, was it LuLaRoe leggings? Like, were you almost selling leggings or was it Lip Sense? Like, who was it?
No, it was like beauty related and skincare.
Oh my God. What is it? I swear I bought their skincare line. I know it. I've bought it all from people. Anyway, that was kind of the latest that's come out over the past 2 weeks of Jen Shah. And I don't know. I feel like,
look, I think that, yeah, I mean, like, look, coaches and it's all, I think Jen also has a good lawyer. I think asking for 3 years, that to me, it's kind of like when you go to buy a house. It's like, I think if the lawyer asked for no sentencing, it would have pissed off the judge. So I think to me, it's kind of like if a house is on the market for $5 million and you offer, like 3.2. There's no counteroffer. We all watch $1 Million Listing. We all watch Selling Sunset. It's like, go fuck yourself. It's like, you got to be in the game. If a house is listed for $5 million, I don't know. I think the lowest opening bid you should be even coming with is like 4.1, 2 to be taken seriously. So it's like, to me, the fact that they asked for 3 years shows, I think her lawyer's pretty good. It's like, we're starting with 3. Like, we're actually asking for 3 because we know we're in this to really negotiate. I think, to me, that I think she has a decent lawyer, and these statements from Coach and the Sons are, they're compelling. I think 10 years is a gift. I do. I think that's a gift to start with. I was shocked. Whereas everyone else was shocked that it was 10 years, I was shocked that it was so lenient. And it's not just because I think Jen Shah is a vile person, which I do. I'll be honest. I do. I think she's vile. I don't. And I love how, and listen, and I also have to go back on something I said where I I stand by the fact that Jen would show up if there were one person in the audience because she loves an audience. And I didn't believe that she chose not to go to the reunion. I still probably don't believe that. But the more I learn about this, I'm like, maybe she did on her own choose not to go to the reunion. Like maybe someone said, girl, whatever you say there, this footage, everything could be used against you. I love how these t-shirts are being used against her. Sorry. It's like, what were you
Justice
thinking?
for Jen.
What were you thinking? I mean, come on. That's not like I'm selling off my fake bags to try to earn money. Like you selling off your stuff to try to pay for a lawsuit is fine. But like kind of that's a joke now. That's like you're making a joke out of this. Justice for Jen. Yeah. And those shirts came up as part of as part of their argument. She tried to profit off this by selling these. I mean, you have to think about it. I said this before, and then we'll move on. Jail is also about like, and by the time you guys listen to this, we might know. I think by the time you listen to this, you'll probably know the sentence maybe, but like, or it's just about to come up. Jail is to like it's not just for punishment. It's to be like to come out into the world as a contributing member of society. So you have to ask yourself, in 5 years of sitting there, of mopping the floors, of no Botox, of gray hair, of wrinkles all over her face, of wearing whatever, maybe she'll be shoved into a locker or something. I don't wish that upon anyone. Maybe she'll have some lesbian sex. I'm not being funny. This is all, but like the point is, I mean, like things could happen in there and that's great. Go for it. But the point is she going to come out and say, what I did? Like, do you believe she realizes what she did right now? Because I don't. So the thing is 5 years, is 5 years going to teach Jed? Todd, I think, needs 70 years, 70, because Todd and Julie are posting all over that, like, we're going to appeal this and it's God's plan and blah. I'm like, man, you haven't learned. You still haven't learned. So to me, I don't know, 10 years is like, okay, if you sit there for 10 years, maybe in year 3, but somewhere when Salt Lake and the Housewives and Andy and Bravo and Fame is just such a distant thing of the past, and your reality becomes mopping the floors and cleaning the toilets, I think somewhere during the 10 years, Jen would be a changed person. I don't know, 5 years would do it. That's just my opinion. I rest my case.
Mic drop from the attorney on the show. I love it. Yeah, I think you're right.
We gotta go in like a minute, and we gotta do a show soon. Guys, I'm so sorry we spoke so much about all this stuff, but this is important.
We have so much to get to. I mean, the crazy. Okay, here's another crazy. Can we please discuss Ronald Richards, the attorney, by the way, who's been on my podcast, whose wife purchased the earrings from Erica Jane? Let's discuss
that. Let's discuss that now before we go. We'll give the kids a
nugget. No, I got so many.
Next time. Okay.
Like 8 minutes on this. Okay.
It's going to be a whole thing. Okay. Next time, I have a lot to say about that. I also want to talk about Teresa. She slams Teddy. Man, you guys. Okay. Find me, David Yontef, Sarah Fraser Show, and we're going to do another episode, guys. Sorry, I was so